Mary Earhart, July 24, 1897, disappeared July 2, 1937, was an American aviator, aviation pioneer, writer, and activist, the first woman to fly across the Atlantic Ocean. She set several aviation records, played a key role in establishing the international organization of female pilots called the 99s, and actively promoted gender equality in traditionally male-dominated professions, especially aviation. Early years and path to aviation. Amelia was born in Atchison, Kansas, to lawyer Edwin Earhart and Amy Otis. From childhood, she was fond of active sports, horse riding, swimming, tennis, and also loved reading books about great discoveries and adventures. At age 10, she saw an airplane for the first time but showed no interest in it, calling it a thing of rusty wire and wood. The family's financial situation worsened when her father began abusing alcohol. The family moved several times, and by 1915 they were in deep poverty. In 1916, Amelia's mother received an inheritance and sent her daughter to study at Earhart School in Pennsylvania. However, in 1917, after visiting her sister in Canada, Amelia saw severely wounded soldiers returning from World War I. This shocked her, and she left college to become a nursing assistant at a military hospital in Toronto. Near the hospital was a military airfield, and watching the pilots, Earhart became fascinated with aviation. After the war, she enrolled in the medical program at Columbia University but moved to live with her parents in California in 1920. There, at an air show in Long Beach, she took her first 10-minute flight as a passenger. This decided her fate. Amelia resolved to learn to fly. Beginning of her aviation career in January 1921, Earhart began taking flying lessons from Anita Snook, one of the first female aviators. Training was expensive, so to pay for it, Amelia worked as a photographer, camerawoman, teacher, secretary, telephone operator, auto mechanic, and truck driver. In summer 1921, she purchased her first aircraft, a Kinner Airster biplane, which she nicknamed the Canary. In October 1922, she climbed to 300 meters in it, setting a world record for women. On May 16, 1923, she received a pilot's license from the Fédération Aéronautique Internationale, becoming the 16th woman in the world to hold such a document. Transatlantic flight in 1927, Charles Lindbergh became the first pilot to cross the Atlantic Ocean. This inspired many, including Amelia Earhart. In 1928, she became the first female passenger to cross the Atlantic aboard a Fokker F.VIB trimotor. The pilot was Wilmer Stoltz, and the flight mechanic was Lou Gordon. Although Earhart did not pilot the aircraft, this flight brought her fame. In May 1932, Amelia made a solo transatlantic flight, becoming the first woman and the second person in history to achieve this. The flight was extremely challenging. Due to instrument failure and a thunderstorm, the plane went into a spin over the ocean. Earhart managed to level the aircraft and landed on the coast of Northern Ireland. For this feat, she was awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross by the US Congress and the National Geographic Society's Gold Medal. Other achievements. In August 1932, Earhart became the first woman to fly coast to coast across the United States without an intermediate stop, from Los Angeles to Newark. In 1931, she mastered the autogyro, an aircraft combining features of a plane and a helicopter, and set a height record in it. In January 1935, she flew solo across the Pacific Ocean from the Hawaiian Islands to Oakland, California. So many pilots had died on this route that flights were banned there, but an exception was made for Earhart. In 1931, Amelia married publisher George Putnam, who helped her with aviation projects and promoted them. In 1934, she launched her own clothing line, Amelia Fashions, designed with women's physiology in mind. Around the World Flight and Disappearance. By 1937, Earhart decided to attempt a round-the-world flight in a twin-engine Lockheed Model 10 Electra, funded by Purdue University. She planned to fly as close to the equator as possible, covering about 47,000 kilometers with stops. The first attempt began on March 17, 1937. Earhart was accompanied by two navigators, Harry Manning and Frederick Noonan. During takeoff from the Hawaiian Islands, the aircraft's landing gear failed, damaging both propellers and preventing takeoff. After major repairs, the second attempt began on May 20, 1937, this time with only one navigator, Frederick Noonan. On July 2, 1937, Earhart and Noonan took off from Papua New Guinea and headed toward Howland Island in the Central Pacific. Radio contact with the plane was lost, and the US Navy launched a massive search operation. Despite efforts, the plane was never found, and the aviators were officially declared dead. Theories about the disappearance. The main theory, supported by the US government and the Smithsonian Institution, is that Earhart and Noonan went off course, failed to locate Howland Island, ran out of fuel, and crashed into the ocean. Other hypotheses include captured by the Japanese. According to this theory, the plane crashed near the Marshall Islands, and the crew was captured by the Japanese, who were then actively building bases in the Pacific, survival on a deserted island. Some researchers believe that Earhart and Noonan survived the crash and spent their final days on Gardner Island. Reconnaissance mission. There is a suggestion that the flight was originally a reconnaissance mission, interrupted by the Japanese, who executed the crew for espionage, alien abduction, or return to the US under a false identity. These theories lack credible evidence. In 2024, possible aircraft wreckage was discovered on the ocean floor. Amelia Earhart remains one of the most mysterious figures in aviation history, and her disappearance is one of the unsolved mysteries of the 20th century. If you're fascinated by unsolved mysteries like this, white right pointing backhand index hit like. White right pointing backhand index subscribe for more. White right pointing backhand index and comment below what do you think happened to Amelia Earhart.